Since we told you yesterday about how Marilyn Manson abruptly hung up during an interview with Metal Hammer, we have an update on that. Just to catch you up, Marilyn Manson was speaking to Metal Hammer about his new album, and they were talking about various different topics, and they asked him about claims made against him reportedly by Evan Rachel Wood, an actress that he was previously romantically in a relationship with. And if you want to see the full breakdown of those claims, you can click the card above and you can watch my entire breakdown on that before hearing this update. But now we do have an update from Metal Hammer. They have published 10 responses to 10 different questions they asked. They released a statement in response in which Marilyn Manson responds to these claims made against him for the first time publicly. They published this today over at Metal Hammer, and we're going to read some of that for you now. Before we get started, if you're new here, please consider subscribing with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates about your favorite bands. So Metal Hammer has this article up. It's called The 10 Questions We Would Like Marilyn Manson to Answer. It says, when Marilyn Manson hung up on our interviewer, we asked him to respond to a series of questions. He didn't, but his PR gave us a statement. So they asked various questions. Number one, they asked in the interview before the call was terminated, we asked about how Marilyn Manson felt hearing her testimony. How did he feel? How does it feel to be tried by social media? He's been accused by people online of some terrible things. Would he like to take this opportunity to respond? Evan Rachel Wood responded to online gossip about her unnamed abuser was actor Mickey Rourke by tweeting, a lot of rumors have been circulating around about who I was talking about in my testimony. I would like to clear something up. It wasn't Mickey Rourke. How did Marilyn Manson feel about that? Bearing in mind that some people online have claimed that the unnamed abuser would be him. Did he reach out to ERW and ask her to clear his name as well? After a Twitter user asked ERW why she has never named her abuser, she said they threatened to kill me or have me killed. Back in 2009, Marilyn Manson appeared to make lighthearted, hyperbolic comments about fantasizing about smashing her skull with a sledgehammer. Does he regret making those comments today? Does he agree with Patricia Arquette's tweet that Marilyn Manson cutting himself 150 times when he called Evan Rachel Wood after a breakup is not love, it's abuse? What does it say for our culture? When he made those comments in 2009, they were seen as Manson being controversial and outrageous, but today are questioned. Another former girlfriend has testified in front of the committee about an abusive past relationship she had. How does he feel about those? Another of Manson's former partners, Rose McGowan, has been at the forefront of the Me Too movement, with at least 3 of his ex-partners claiming to have suffered abuse at the hands of men who then intimidated them into silence. Does he stand in support of them? Is it possible to interpret lyrics on the song Perfume on his new album as being about victim culture? The song seems to suggest that some victims relish their victimhood and do it for fame. So you wear your damage on your sleeve because victim is chic. You're famous as part of your pain. Is that how he feels? The song could be considered threatening to someone who is claiming victimhood. In your hair will be brains. What is the song Perfume about? Marilyn Manson's UK PR representative replied, and here is their statement. It says, we've advised our client not to comment further on this article, and went on to make a statement. Personal testimony is just that, and we think it's inappropriate to comment on that. You then go on to talk about Manson being accused of terrible things by unnamed critics, but offer no guidance on who these critics are and what these things are, so it's not possible to comment. You then mention Mickey Rourke. It's my understanding that Evan Rachel Wood dated multiple people around the time she was dating Manson. Basic internet research will give you a host of other names that will come up in any of our discussions. Your next couple of points deal with the comments Manson made in Spin magazine in 2009. Your confusion around the timeline of this is extremely worrying. Editors note there is no confusion surrounding this timeline. They continue the quote. The comments in Spin, where Manson had a fantasy of using a sledgehammer on Evan and he cut himself 158 times, was obviously a theatrical rock star interview promoting a new record and not a factual account. The fact that Evan and Manson got engaged 6 months after this interview would indicate that no one took this story literally. You go on to talk about Manson and sexual harassment, Me Too, and specifically the experiences of his ex-partner Rose McGowan. Those are all issues Manson has publicly addressed and are available online. Please see the Channel 4 interview from the 15th of December 2017. Manson has never shied away from public comment. Equally, he does not have to make the same comment twice. There will be no further comment on specific songs. Your journalist had the opportunity to ask Manson about his music, one of only 2 interviews granted in the UK, and he chose not to. Trying to weave one section of one song from an artist with a 30-plus year career to fit a narrative is both disingenuous and troublesome. You mention Manson's ex-fiancée Rose McGowan in your questions. Rose is one of the bravest and most outspoken figureheads of the Me Too movement. Manson remains friends with McGowan, and she very fondly talks of their 3.5 years together. There are multiple sources available. I linked to a Washington Post article on McGowan's memoir, Brave. You fail to mention Manson's ex-wife, Dita Von Teese, who remains good friends with Manson. Quoting a Female First article published in 2018, Dita admits she's been lucky to avoid any abusive episodes in the entertainment industry in her career. There are also numerous articles over multiple years when Evan Rachel Wood speaks very positively about her relationship with Manson. In an interview, she wrote, "I wouldn't trade any of our relationship. I appreciate everything he taught me. I just don't think we were right for each other." And then at the end it says, "Finally, you talk about death threats. Manson knows all about those. He has had many. He has spent his career being framed from everything from Columbine to teenage suicide. Unfortunately, we live in a time where people believe that what they read on the internet and feel free to say what they want with no actual evidence. The effects can be catastrophic, and promoting non-fact-based information is wholly irresponsible. All we can try and do as the media and as individuals is to use facts and truth and not hide behind gossip and conjecture to further our own agendas." So folks, that is the statement from Marilyn Manson's PR representatives. And again, if you want to see the breakdown from Metal Hammer's perspective, you can click the card in this video and you can watch that as well. Let me know what you guys think about that statement in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on if you're new here at Rockfeed so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates about your favorite bands. Thanks so much for joining us today and every day, and we'll see you all very soon.